Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So in the previous class we have learnt about different types of polygons such as triangles, quadrilaterals, yes, squares and rectangles. Now in today's class, look at the following given objects. Here we are given a few objects. Now which shape do all these objects remind you of? Yes children, all these objects are in which shape? Yes, they are in the form of a circle. They are in the shape of a circle. Now, is this circle can circle be called as a polygon? If yes, why? And if not, why? We have to give our reason as well. Now, this circle is not a polygon. A circle is not a polygon. Why? Because remember, a circle is not a polygon as it is not made up of straight lines. For any figure or shape to be a polygon, what are the two conditions, children? A polygon is nothing but a simple closed curve, and also it should be made up of line segments. Now when we look at the shape of a circle, now circle a simple closed curve? Yes, the curves are not crossing, so the circle is a simple closed curve. But is it made of line segments? No, it is made of a curve. It is made of a curve. There are no line segments like this in our circle. So as only one condition is satisfying, it is a simple closed curve, but it is not made up of line segments. So for this reason, a circle is not a polygon. I hope this is clear, children. A circle is not a polygon. Why? Because it is not made up of straight lines. Though it is a simple closed curve, as it is not made up of straight lines, it is not a polygon. Now how to draw a circle? What are the different ways that we can draw a circle? The first method is the method that we follow or use normally. What is it? Take any circular object such as a coin, bottle cap, bangle, etc. Yes, these are the different circular objects that we find in our homes. So what can we do for drawing a circle? In the first method, we can take any of these circular objects and then with the help of that trace its outline. For example, if I am choosing this bangle, okay children, if I am choosing this bangle, I'll place the bangle on a piece of paper, and on the outline, following the outline, I'll draw a circle on the paper. Now after drawing, when I remove the bangle, what will we be left with? We'll be left with only a circle on the paper. Yes, so that is our first step, first method. What is it? We can take any circular object such as a bangle, coin, bottle cap, etc. and then trace the outline. So this is the simplest method and also the most common method that we use for drawing a perfect circle. Yes, we can draw a circle only with the help of a pencil also, but it will not come out as perfect all the times. So that is why the first method we are using a circular object. Now coming to second method. What is the second method? Take a piece of string and tie a pencil to one end of the string. Fix the other end of the string to the paper with and hold the string tightly and rotate the pencil with a pin, and hold the string tightly and rotate the pencil. Now what is the second method, children? If you can see here in the image, what are they showing? A string is nothing but a thread. A string is nothing but a thread. So when we take a piece of thread, we will have two ends, right? We will have two ends. So one end we have to tie it to the pencil like this, and the other end, if you have any pin or something with which you can pin the thread tightly to the paper, you can do that. Else like this you can keep your finger and then start rotating the pencil. Understood? Keep the finger here on the thread, hold it tightly, and with the help of other hand hold the pencil and then start rotating. When you start rotating, what happens is the pencil will draw a circle along the rotation. See, now the pencil will move like this. So in the same line the pencil will draw. Yes, when the circle completes we will get a complete circle. When we complete the rotation we'll get a complete circle. What is this method to children? With the help of a string or a piece of thread. You can try this at home. Yes, take a piece of thread. What should you do? First you should tie the thread to pencil, and the other end you have to pin it to the paper tightly or hold it tightly. Then after holding, start rotating the pencil. After you complete the rotation, see, suppose if you are starting from this point, again you have to end at that point. When you do that, understood? If you are starting at the point A, then again you have to complete or end your rotation at point A itself. So when you complete such rotation, then you will get a perfect circle. So this is our method 2. With the help of a string, we can draw a perfect circle. Now coming to method 3, use a compass. Now what is this compass? Have you seen the compass in your geometry box? It has a metal pointed edge on one half and a pencil holder on the other half. Now this instrument here, as you can see, is called as a compass. What is it called as, children? COMPASS, compass. You might have seen this compass in your geometry box. Now what is the use of this compass? It is used for drawing circles. What is the use of compass? With the help of compass we can draw perfect circles. Now coming to the structure or the parts of a compass. If you observe carefully, here we have a screw. We have a screw here. Yes, because of this screw here is called as the hinge. Because of this hinge, we can open the compass and move both the arms. Let us call these as arms. Okay, this is arm and then this is arm 2. Because we are having a hinge, that is joining both arm 1 and arm 2, we can open and move the compass easily. Yes or no? If you take the compass in your hand and try to open it, you can open it easily. Now again, what are these arms? Okay, this is the hinge, the screw part. Now if you look at the arms, here we have a needle on one end. For one arm, we have a needle on the end. So be careful while using a compass, children, because the needle will be a little bit sharp. You might hurt yourself. So here for the compass we have a hinge and then one metal pointed edge. See, this is having a pointed edge on one side, and on the other arm we have a pencil holder. If you don't have this, if you don't keep the pencil inside, it will look like a hole. Okay, so when you place your pencil inside, now how to place the pencil inside? Are you seeing this black thing here, children? Yes, so when you loosen this black thing, now for some compasses it might be black, and for some compasses it will be in the same color as the compass, that is this metal color. It will be in the metal color. Okay, what will happen is, I'll show you. Here, okay, sometimes this black thing will be here. Okay, so you have to rotate it so that it comes to the edge. After it is to the edge, then place your pencil inside. And tighten this black thing. Okay, so you have to make sure that your pencil doesn't fall down. Your pencil is standing in the pencil holder very tightly and firmly. Now this is about compass. How to use a compass? A compass has a hinge. It has a metal pointed edge on one half and then a pencil holder on the other half. Now how to draw a circle using this compass? Now fix the pencil to the compass tightly. Adjust the pencil such that the compass and the pencil edge are at the same level. See here, children. Yes, see, the needle is ending here and also the pencil should end there. Suppose if I insert my pencil too long like this, my needle is ending here but my pencil is ending here. Are they ending at the same heights? No, they are not. So you should not do like that. What should you do? You should make sure that both the needle and our pencil are on the same level. Yes, what are the things that you should check? First, you should check that the pencil is fitting inside tightly. It should be tightly fitted. Now, the next thing is the level. The needle and the pencil are at the same level. Next, fix the needle of the compass on the paper. Stretch the other arm of the compass which is holding the pencil. So, what should you do for drawing? You are having this one, right? The needle. Suppose this is a piece of paper. Yes, on this I'll place my needle firmly in the middle. I'll place my needle firmly at one point. And then how do we draw? We draw using the pencil. Yes or no? So you should spread this arm. When you spread this arm, it will spread easily because of the hinge here. Yes, now you can spread the arm and depending on the distance. If you want a big circle, you can spread the arm till here. If you want a small circle, you can spread the arm only little. So depending on the size of your circle that you want, you can spread the arm of the, you can spread this pencil holder arm. You can spread the pencil holder arm. Now move the pencil around to draw a circle. See here, children. Are you able to see? Now this is nothing but the pencil. This thing that is moving here is nothing but the pencil. Okay. And this is the pointed needle. If you observe here, the needle is in the same place. The needle is in the same place and only the pencil side is moving. The arm with the pencil is moving. So even you have to make sure that you place the needle firmly and then only move the pencil. See, if you as you move it, it draws a circle automatically. Yes or no? So this was the method 3 of drawing a circle. What is it? Using a compass. The first method was using any circular object and then tracing a circle. The second method was to use a piece of string, and then the third method was to draw a circle using compass. Now parts of a circle. Consider the circle drawn with the string. Now the point where you pinned the string gives the center of the circle. The length of the string gives the radius of the circle. So what are they saying here? If you consider this one. Now where are we pinning or holding the thread? Here in at this point. So this point wherein we are pinning the string or we are holding the string tightly becomes the center of the circle. What does it become, children? The center of the circle. Now the length of the string. This is the length of the string. So this length of the string will be nothing but the radius of the circle. Now this is a new term, radius. Okay, for squares, rectangles and other figures and shapes, we have sides, vertices. Yes, we have the different parts such as sides and vertices. So when it comes to circle, the parts of a circle are, we have a center of the circle and the length of the string here becomes the radius of the circle. Now in the same way, when you are drawing using the compass, the point where you have pinned the needle becomes the center. This becomes our center, and then the length between the center, the pin and the pencil holder. The distance between the pin and the pencil holder. This one. The distance between the needle and the pencil holder becomes the radius of the circle. Is this clear, children? The point where in the middle becomes the center of the circle, and the distance from that middle to this, from the needle to the pencil becomes the radius of the circle. See, even here they have shown us. We will place our compass here. We'll fix our compass needle here, so that becomes the center, and the distance from this center to the pencil becomes the radius of a given circle. Here O is the center and OA is the radius of the circle, where A is any point on the circle. Now from this, what can we understand? If we look at a circle, the middle point of the circle will become the center of the circle. What does center mean? Center means the middle. Yes or no? Yes. So in the same way, children, when we take a circle, the middle point of the circle is nothing but the center of the circle. We give the name as O. We give this point, the center point, the name as O. So we say for the given circle, O is the center. If someone asks you by showing this picture what is the center of the circle, what should you say? O is the center of the circle. Now coming to radius. Now from the center, when we draw a line joining any point on the circle. See, I am drawing so many points on the circle. Now from the center, when I join any point on the circle, see, from the center to the point on the circle, from the center to the point on the circle. So all these are nothing but radius, children. What is this? It is nothing but the radius of the circle. Yes, A is nothing but any point on the circle. It can be any point. There is no rule that only the point here will be the radius of the circle. Now this is again a fun activity for you to do. Okay, draw any circle, and as I've shown on the circle on the outside, mark many points and join the center of the circle to this point on the circle. Join the center to the point, and what did I say? All these are radius. Yes, and with the help of a scale you can measure the length of these line segments. See, like this, you can measure the lengths of these line segments. When you measure the length of these line segments, you will find that all these line segments are of the same length. When you draw a perfect circle using any of the three methods discussed, what are they? Using a compass, or using an object, or else using a string and a pencil. Yes, so when you draw a perfect circle using any of the three methods discussed, and then if you try to find out the lengths of these line segments, all the lengths of these line segments will be the same. If suppose this from O to this point is 6 centimeters, now from O to this point will also be equal to 6. O to this will also be equal to 6. So from the center to any point on the circle, the distance or the length will always be equal to same. Understood, children? It is nothing but the radius of the circle. So when somebody asks, so when I ask you what is the radius of the circle, you can say OA is the radius of the circle. And what is the length of the radius? So when you measure this using a ruler, suppose as we have discussed now, it is 6 centimeters, then you can say that this is a circle with radius 6 centimeters. It is a circle with radius 6 centimeters. Now draw a circle using any of the methods discussed on a transparent sheet. Fold this sheet exactly into half and crease it. Unfold the sheet, draw a line segment along the fold. So what are they saying? When you, after drawing a circle using any of the methods that we have discussed, okay, so that you will get a perfect circle, and to get the center, what can you do is you can fold it in half. You can fold it in half, and then you can unfold and draw a line segment along the fold. When I fold, obviously a line a sort of line forms. Yes or no, children? We can see the folding mark on the paper. So you draw a line segment along the fold. Now the line segment obtained is known as the diameter of the circle. It is a line segment passing through the center and whose endpoints lie on the circle. So what is this? If you observe this line segment, what are the properties of this line segment? Let me draw again. It is passing through the center of our circle, that is O, and if we look at the end points of this line segment, both the endpoints lie on the circle. Both the endpoints are lying on the circle, and also it is passing through the center of the circle. So when we have any such line segments, what should be the conditions to be satisfied, children? It should pass through the center, and also the endpoints, both the endpoints should lie on the circle. So when we have any such line segment, it will be called as the diameter. diameter, diameter of the circle. And also, what is the note given here? Radii is the plural of radius. Okay, it is just you have to understand. We have learnt about radius, right? It is a line segment joining the center of the circle and any point on the circle. Yes, so when we have many radius, we will call it as radii. Plural is nothing but radii, singular will be radius. Now coming to the diameter again, what are the two conditions? The first is that it should pass through the center, and again the second is both the endpoints should lie on the circle. For example, if I draw this line segment, both the endpoints are on the circle, but is it passing through our center of the circle? No. So this will not be a diameter. I hope this is clear, children. What are the three parts of the circle that we have learned? One is the center, the other is the radius, and the third one is diameter. Now here, if you look at this picture carefully, this O becomes our center. Now from O to a point on the circle, this line segment OC becomes our radius, and then we are having the line segment AB whose both endpoints lie on the circle, and also it is passing through the center of the circle. So this line segment AB becomes the diameter of our circle. Now how many radii and diameters can be drawn for a given circle? So even in previously we have discussed, let me take blue line. From the center we can join any point on the line. So no matter what it is, all will be the radius of the given circle and the length will be the same. So from this what can we understand, children? For a given circle, we can have many infinite, infinite, infinite. That is, we cannot count the number of radius that we can draw for a given circle. In the same way, even for diameters. See, this will be a diameter, this will be a diameter, this. Understood, children? So like this we can draw many number of diameters for a given circle again. So what can we, no matter which line segment you choose, which diameter you choose and measure the length of all these will be the same. Yes, so for a given circle we can draw infinite number of both radii. Why are we calling it as radii? Because it is the plural of radius. We can draw many radii, infinite radii and also infinite diameters. Now draw different radii of the circle as shown here. Measure the lengths using a ruler. What do you observe? Yes, we have already discussed when we draw different radii and again measure the length of these radii using a ruler. What do we observe? We'll observe that the radii of circle are equal in length. AC is equal to 2, AG is equal to 2 centimeters, AB 2 centimeters, AE 2 centimeters. So whatever the radius we take, all the lengths will be the same. The same applies to the diameter as well. The length of all the diameters for a given circle will be the same. Suppose I am having this another smaller circle and the radius would be OA. Now I cannot say that OA is equal to AD. Why? Why? Because these are the radius of two different circles. So the radius of a single circle, different radii such as these of a single or the same circle will be the same. The radius of another circle will not be the same of radius of another circle. Now coming to the relationship between the radius and diameter. The radius and diameter. Draw 4 circles of radii 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters. So how to draw these circles of different radii, children? We have learnt about using a compass, right? Yes. So I'll show you. Now this compass, stretch it so much that it is equal to 3 centimeters. Keep a ruler below and make sure that you stretch only 3 centimeters. Now with the same measurement, when you draw a circle, the radius of such circle would be 3 centimeters. When you stretch it so much that the distance is equal to 10 centimeters and you draw a circle, then we'll get a circle whose radius is equal to 10 centimeters. So like this, if you draw different circles and measure and note down the diameters, what is the relationship that we can find? The diameter is twice the length of radius. So when we do that, even if you observe from O till A, OA is one radius, and again from O till B, it is also the radius of the circle. Yes, OA and OB. Here we know that the radius is 2 centimeters. So OA will be 2, OB will be 2. OA will be 2 and OB will be 2. When we combine these two together, if you want the length of the line segment BA, yes, what will it be from B till A? So this entire is equal to 2 plus 2, that is equal to 4. 2 plus 2, that is equal to 4. So from this, what can we understand is that diameter is always twice the length of radius. D is equal to 2 into R. D is nothing but the diameter. 2 multiplied by R is nothing but the radius. So when we have the radius of a circle, we can also find the diameter of the circle. How? By multiplying it with 2. If we take another example, if the radius of circle is 3 centimeters, D is equal to 2 into R. Yes, what are they saying? Now radius is equal to 3. So 2 into 3 is equal to 6 centimeters. The diameter of the given circle is equal to 6 centimeters. Now D is equal to 2 into R. Now what if we have the diameter but we want to find out the radius? We have the diameter but we want to find out the radius. If you remember, children, consider it as a word problem. When we say 2 radius is equal to 1 diameter, or the cost of 2 radius is given. The cost of 2 into R means 2 radius is given. We have to find out the cost of only 1 radius. Say cost of 2 radius is equal to 10 rupees. Then the cost of 1 radius will be equal to how much? What will you do? You will divide this 10 by 2. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Yes? Yes. So applying the same concept, then the cost of the length of radius only becomes the diameter divided by 2. The diameter divided by 2. Is this clear, children? What did we learn? What is the relationship between the radius and diameter? diameter is equal to 2 into radius. Radius is equal to diameter divided by 2. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now what you can do is, we have learned about the different methods by which we can draw circles. Yes, choose any method you want and draw the circles. Find out its radius and also find out the diameters. You can observe by yourself that this rule is applying. What is this? Diameter is equal to 2 into radius. Radius is equal to diameter divided by 2. I hope this is clear, children. Now with this, we've come to the end of today's class. What did we learn? We have learnt about the different parts of a circle. The different parts of a circle are, what are they? They are the center, radius, and then the diameter. And also we have learned about the relationship between a radius and the diameter of